In a world filled with things on the internet, two men, one podcast, two pores.
Let me tell you about it. And
Well,
then,
to be able to recite it, basically,
to
or
really articulate it.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is maddening to me.
Okay.
You start to talk about it, and then the dream goes whoosh, like it's a secret, like it's not meant for everyone else to hear, right? What you dreamed about, right?
Well, this is a dream is honestly you diving into your own subconscious
of
that
course.
you can't dive into when you're awake.
Of course. Sean,
We're into the Matrix. So this is you diving into yourself or a part of yourself that you can't normally tap into.
Right.
So they say it's super important that if you have a dream when you wake up, start writing. Journal.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just start writing from the very moment you wake up. I mean, you don't even have to have your legs hit the floor.
Right.
Just have the journal beside you and just start writing, because subliminally you could write down things that you wouldn't have remembered had you got up, had coffee an hour later,
Right.
and then actually.
And usually that's the way it goes with dreams. But think about this, so I know that all week long, Monday really feels like 3 weeks ago, right?
Okay.
Because
that long of a week.
Like you and I are just like, all right, we got to do this. And then we spent one solid night where we're like, all right, man, let's go like 30 minutes. And then next thing you know, it's, but it was solid work, right? So I had a dream that I'm sitting on bleachers at Albemarle Road Middle School watching a football game, watching my brother play football. And there's this bitch ass dude that keeps on trying me and talking shit. And his name was Alan, whatever his name was. And probably 3-4 different times in a row, but the same exact version, I hear in the background, man, who the fuck you talking to, man? What the fuck is, and I look up and it's you. Mm-hmm. And you're sitting up there, and I think you might be sitting there with my sister, and I think some other friends are up there, and I'm looking, and then he looks up at you, and I'm looking at, and I'm a absolute kid at this point, dude. I think I'm 12, 13.
I mean, you would have been at that time, yeah.
Right? And
yeah,
so you're
ninth grade.
you're a couple years older than
I would have been
me, right?
ninth grade, yeah.
So anyway, he ends up, leaving, whatever. Mm-hmm. Dream ends. Dream starts back. I'm sitting at this very familiar 4-way stop, and all that keeps happening is you going, what motherfucker? What the fuck you want, motherfucker? And all I can see is the back of your head, and you're like 15 feet tall, and I can't get in. I can't get in where I fit in. I can't even get involved. It's almost like I'm watching through a plexiglass, right? And
who was I talking to in the dream?
You were talking to that Allen dude. That
the same dream.
Same dream.
Okay.
And you were telling him that you were fuck him up and all this kind of shit or whatever. And dream ends, or whatever part of it, I remember like vividly. And then I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, whew, whew, boom. And I'm getting in the shower. I'm thinking about the dream. 3-4 days later, now today, thinking about the dream. Man, it wasn't a dream. It wasn't a dream. It was a replay that happened.
Okay.
Albemarle Road Middle School. I'm sitting on the bottom deal. I'm a little soccer playing fucking whatever. This Allen dude comes up talking shit, thinking he's somebody. And here's this dude, Jason Bridwell, that I don't know who the fuck he is. I just know that he's on the top of the bleachers telling this dude, shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. And I said, you always think about like, all right, what do dreams mean? Why are they there? I know you're coming to the crib this weekend. I know you got a massive amount of anxiety and anticipation and really, really unconscionable kind of like fear, if you will. I feel like that might be something that you have in there because you got this baby coming, right? And so I'm sitting there having this dream, thinking about you being the yo man, blah, blah, and being this guy that I don't think a lot of people know you as. People don't know what you've done or some of the times you went fisticuff with some people and thrown hands and handled your own. Never ran away. I know that about you, right?
Yeah.
But all the while, I'm trying to think. Well, why the fuck am I? Why am I thinking about him coming here protecting me or being my, whatever? And it dawned on me, bro. It dawned on me that you're coming here away from your nest, your safe haven, your woman, your soon-to-be child, your baby boy Christian till Micah comes.
Yeah, true story.
And you're coming here, but you're coming here with a purpose, and you're coming here with a purpose to back me up in whatever it is that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think about that when people talk about music or they talk about what they've done in hip hop music or whatever genre. I only know the hip hop side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why people are so afraid to tell the ultimate truth about what they accomplished, what they did do. And all they talk about is what they would do, or they, I'm working on this album, man. I'm thinking about trying to get, Havoc on it. Maybe, I remember one time that you and I were at a Gerald affair when we were doing the Next Level Thursdays, and this dude came up. I won't say his name. Came up and he was like, "What's up?" Besides all the other people that come up and say normal shit like, "Yo, how you doing, man? How your kids doing? How's whatever?" He's like, "Yo, what's up, man? I'm about to go on a national tour, man. I'm about to go on a 6-city national tour." And I think you and I were looking like, "Oh, that's what's up." Like,
what's really good.
But at the same time, we want to be like 6 cities in the whole nation.
Yeah, national tour.
Like, you don't want to. You don't want to tell me like how you doing, anything like that. You just want to tell me this facade. How come? People have to climb these unreal fake heights to think that that's a way to be noticed.
Man, I don't know.
We didn't do that.
I think it's taken me a long time to realize there's so many of us who want to be a part of something special.
Right.
You know what I mean? To have, aren't we all out here searching for purpose?
Oh, every day.
You know what I'm saying? We're out here searching for meaning. And there's so many people out here who want to just feel like they're on top of it. Mm-hmm. They want publicity. They want a big friend base and things like that. I mean, but if you really think about it, how many people can you really trust in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, like if you look at your hand, right? It's the little fingers. Now ball that motherfucker up. Mm-hmm. That's tough. Now right there is tight. You only need a couple. You know what I'm saying?
You're reminded me of something that I saw that I really, I loved, and I thought about you when I saw it. Joey Diaz was like, look, man, all I need is me and 3 bad motherfuckers, and we'll take the world over.
Well,
right?
What did Chris Rock say when he was talking about the Columbine in one of his specials? He was talking about the Columbine shooters. He was like, these people shot up like all this stuff and did horrible things. He was like, but if you look at their photo in the yearbook, he was like, there was 13 of them. He was like, man, I don't have 13 friends. I ain't never had 13 friends. I don't have 13 friends now. He's like, I don't even know 13 people. Dude. I mean, there's a lot. I think a lot of people miss the forest for the trees.
Oh, all day long.
It's right there in front of you, and it's all about mindset. You don't need a whole bunch of things. You don't need a whole bunch of money. You don't need a whole bunch of people. I mean, you just need a few close friends and be thankful for what you got.
I think like when years ago, whatever, I'm talking to my grandfather. He's like, you're supposed to be over here, hanging out, but you're on the phone all the time. Like, why are you on the phone, but you're over here? Like, why'd you come over here? And I'm like, oh, I mean, to see you, like, Pop, I always see you on Sundays. Just after my dad died, after Granny Bass died, Granny Gerald's always been my guy on Sundays. Yeah. My wife used to work Sundays, so I would take the kids over there. It was a thing. He said, you're always on the phone. You want to know who really? And yeah, we've said this several times, but I'm gonna follow up on something else after. I said, you want to know who really cares about you? Stop calling them.
Yeah,
stop calling them. Right?
Which is a great. I mean, that's
a great deal. So
that's beautiful.
What ended up happening with that is that my circle got tight like the fit. It got to the point where I was like, damn, I really don't need to communicate with X, Y, and Z. If I see them out and about, man, it's love, man. Let's get like whatever, but I don't need to focus my time on.
And you and I have had those conversations before too, right? About the FOMO and thinking you have to have all this network of people. Yeah.
So, there's a few people that I know that will call me when it's the most fucked up, right? When strong people that don't need a huge amount of support, right? You're one of them. Prince is one of them, right? That when y'all call and say, "Yo, man, I need to talk to you," and I, man, I'm busy doing. No, man, I need to like talk to you.
Yeah.
What it really does though, like when it boils down to it, you really realize like, man, I ain't afraid to say this. I love this motherfucker, man. Man, he's hurting, I'm hurting. What can I do, right? And then there's other people that come around, you see them, spontaneously, you might see them at like a little function, at a little deal, and it's great to see them. And they go, hey, man, we should get up. We should do this, that, and the other. We should do some music together. We should, build a building together. We should start a business together, and you quickly realize and be humble and be a gentleman about it, that there's a reason why you're not around these kind of folks.
Yeah.
And you could just simply look at them and be like, man, I'm just so glad to see you right now, right? I'm just so glad. And you switch the subject.
Yeah.
The thing about the music thing that I want to go back to, you and I, we ventured out and put work in, real work in, substantial real work in.
I mean, that was a lot of you though in the work. You were the musical part of that. That was the true work.
Okay. We put substantial amount of work in, right? You said, yo, you got 2 days. These are the songs we picked. We had Dread. we borrowed the God rest Joanna's soul. God rest her soul so much. She was a beautiful, beautiful woman. And we borrowed her motif keyboard for Dread.
Yeah.
And you said, you got 2 days, bro. 2 days.
That's all I could afford.
2 days. And this is, I forgot what the pictures are, somewhere around here. This is Bridwell showing up at the studio on Central Avenue, Reflection Sound Studio, with slacks on, black belt, black shoes, and a dress shirt. Walking up like, what's up? It's time. Let's go for it. And hey man, there's a few folks want to roll through, want to, whatever. And you were like, yeah, man, come on, let's do this. Collective energy, good energy.
Yeah, right.
But you got 2 days.
Doesn't change that, right? Doesn't change that. No. Yeah. You know what's so cool about that whole moment though? That moment, that month of July, there was only, and so Reflection Sound Studios off Central Avenue, which is no longer there.
Yeah.
That was a $6 million recording studio.
Oh, beautiful.
That was Kirk Franklin, Prince, Dolly Parton. There were so many people who've recorded there. Do you know the month that you recorded there was only one other artist who recorded there that entire month?
I think he demanded that everybody call each other sir.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know that, but do you know who it was?
Well, hey, James Brown.
No. The only other person that recorded there,
Anthony Hamilton.
Anthony Hamilton. Yeah.
But
James Brown recorded there too.
James Brown recorded there like a few weeks before that. I was just being. Yeah. Anthony Hamilton.
Anthony Hamilton.
Right.
Yeah. His Jolene album or whatever. I don't even know what the title of it was.
Absolute legend. I got the funniest story. Scott Carpenter,
legit singer though.
Scott Carpenter called me a couple of years ago. He was living off Providence, near Waverly, near 485, whatever, and he was like, "Dude," it sent me a picture. I saw it the next day because it was late. He was like, "Dude, I'm fucking sitting here talking to this guy all night long. And he's telling me he's some famous singer, and I'm just telling him about how you're like the best rapper on the planet. Do you know who this guy is?"
That sounds like Scott.
Do you know who this guy is? And he took it. The fucking picture was him and Anthony Hamilton.
Oh my God.
He said, "Dude, I'm just sitting there and we're having the greatest convo." And then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, gotta go." And he looked over and there's some like 2 or 3 chicks walk in and take him out. Anthony Hamilton, what a great musician, what a great artist. That would have been phenomenal.
I was trying to do that behind the scenes at the studio while you're in the booth. I'm trying to talk and trying to get them to get in touch with his manager to try to get him in there to do some kind of collab.
Dude.
Like I'm like praying, like, please, man, just like come in here, listen to this guy. Let's put something together.
Right.
You know,
whatever
we got to do.
Yeah, Mr. Bridwell, Mr. Business. When at the end of day 1 of recording, we got people coming in, coming out, smoking trees, doing whatever. But Bob's very much like
him. I know Bob and Sean.
And I'm coming to the end of it, and and I look up. So the studio is you got the plexiglass, you got the big soundboard, plexiglass, and gymnasium sound or size recording room. And I'm looking up because I'm not nailing this part of the verse, and I look up and Bridwell's just sitting there. There's a bunch of people up there. You can't hear what is going on in the sound room, whatever. And Bridwell looks at me. He was like, gives me the look, like, come on. It's almost like, go, bro, the fucking ball's right there, but dunk the ball. Yeah. Killed it, right? And then, all right, so fast forward, we do the next one.
Yeah,
we did it all in what, 1 day, 2 days?
Dude, you were. I listened.
I saw Sean T and them. You remember that was at the end, and Sean T and all them were in there.
Yeah,
and you and him were looking at me with the deal when I was doing the This Is Hip Hop.
Yeah, well, and we all got in on the hook on that.
Yeah,
we all got in to add the depth to that. You know, which is pretty cool, but. It's funny. I look at that whole situation, and it was almost like, oh God, I lost my train of thought. But like it was like Neo in the Matrix. You know what I mean? And I think about that. Do you remember seeing the Matrix where Neo's like, "I know kung fu." Everybody knows that line, but it's like they were like, yeah, he's like almost like a machine,
right?
And you were in there and you recorded an entire album in a day and a half.
Yeah. Animal. And I couldn't have done it without everybody that rolled through. It was weird. Kenny and BC rolled through. Of course, my brother's there. Prince came through to record his verse, whatever. And then Shanti and Tarek came the second day. And I'm doing the This Is Hip Hop deal, whatever. And my voice is fucking tapped out. And I'm trying or whatever like that. And then Bob hit the button to, "Hey, we got to do it again." Shanti was like, yo, that ain't good enough, bro. Yo, you got to do better, bro. Right? And then he hit the button and I'm down there by myself like, dude, I'm like,
it's a different animal. When you get into that booth, it is like you were shut off from the world.
Yeah, and then but recording songs that quickly back to back, you have to get out of the mindset of what this song is, and then try to get yourself in the mindset of what this next song is.
It is mentally taxing.
And I
can imagine.
Again, another part of that I loved was watching y'all up there, Sean T saying that, and then y'all both looking like, yo, and I can't even hear what y'all are saying, but I can imagine y'all are like, come on, motherfucker, yo, come on. And just in it, and I wish that kind of energy and that kind of, we put that kind of energy in the shows that we've done. We put that kind of energy in the people that we decided to let open for us and let, come on board to do it. And I always felt this shitty feeling, even beyond that, album, of like, yo, I'm gonna put you on a show I got 600 people coming to. I would just imagine you're gonna bring somebody to it, and then to return the favor, I'll come and do the show for you. Yeah. And when I come to do the show for you and bring a bunch of people, you're standing there, not even vibing, not even being a part of it. Charlotte, North Carolina has had the most awkward love-hate hip-hop music scene.
Listen, I think it goes deeper than that, though. I mean, if you think about it, right? Like when we got to step inside the booth where you were for that day and a half, like straight killing it. Can I get a little touch up?
Of course.
Thanks, my dude. That was the first time that I had seen it from your point of view, right?
What do you mean?
Well, like I'm out here and I'm watching people roll up and smoke. They're there to chill. Yeah. They're there because it's a happening thing. But like I'm looking at you and I'm like, well, a couple of different things. One, it's like, well, like this is my investment. Like this is my money, and I've always told you this, like I bet on you every time because I never go broke with you. I know that, so it wasn't like we need to get this much done because this is my money. It's like, no, this is my investment. Like my name's on this.
And I care about this shit.
And I care about this. Like if we mess something up here, we might not ever be able to come back here. Or are we going to be bad news here? Like I want your name to be good. I want my name to be good. I want our name to be good. Bob like knows a lot of people. Like, will he be able to pass our name on to somebody else, like an Anthony Hamilton, to maybe we can get something done? So there was like all these mental things going on. But then I'm watching you record and record and record like a fucking machine, bro. And like, who's there in the trenches with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's there? Who's there in the trench? Well, you. Well, Bob was there. Dredd was there. He's there through every bit of it. And I wanted you to, so I thought to myself, there's a couple of different roles I can play. Right, I can be the public servant. I can go smoke with these people. I can go do this. I can go play the host or whatever like that. Yeah. But my heart and my time and my energy and my focus was on you in the booth because I need to make sure that you knew that you had support. You know what I mean? Everybody there was to support you, right? But they weren't in the trenches with you. And so when I got to step into there and add on with me and Diesel, and we got to add on, like you realize how on an island you are because it is soundproof. So you are you in there alone with your own thoughts and words. And like you have to bring every bit of energy on every different track. And you don't hear how it resonates out there into the world. No. You just have to stay focused.
It's the most.
So that was difficult.
When you get into the real studios, the real and when you're recording. And you can hear everything in the headphones, just like we can hear them now. And the beat is crazy. Dredd it was quite possibly the most brilliant, at that time, young producer, engineer, that I've ever worked with, right?
Yeah, for sure.
One of the best moments ever is Mike White walking around. He's taking videos of us, and he's, it's always his thing. Mike White was always there to capture that shit. And I'm standing there and there's a video of, he comes up to you and you're like, yeah, man, my name's Jason Bridwell, next level, and you were giving your props to the deal. Then Dredd's standing right beside you and Dredd's like, yeah, this is our crowd. This is our crowd. This is what we do, that whatever. And I'm sitting there looking at both of y'all, and not one, ounce of me is like, man, the camera should be on me. No selfishness. I'm sitting there looking at two dudes that put in insane amount of work to make the show that we were about to do. Mm-hmm. And this is obviously after we recorded the album.
Yeah, and I don't even remember those interviews either. So I hope did you justice.
Y'all both looked just so on point. And then we go and do this show. And mind you, the same thing happened when we did the album release party. We got to the venue a little bit too early. Mm-hmm. We showed up a little bit too early, and you and I were like, I see my mom, my wife.
It was. We put in so much. We put in so much work on the promotional end of things.
Think about that, man. Me and D Shorty were talking about this. Shout out to D Shorty. Yeah. Me and D Shorty were talking about this.
Okay.
5,000 flyers for the I've Seen It All album release party. We hit the streets. We put miles in. We didn't go on. We didn't have the social media outlets.
We tried to do everything we could on social media, but it wasn't the giant that it is now. No way.
Well, we walked around and did it. We had people that straight up called and said, "Yo, I'm out. I'm out of flyers. We're going to Plaza Midwood tonight. Let's meet up." I'm at work, a service advisor at a Honda dealership. We make it happen, and I meet halfway between where they are and I am, and hand them a big ass stack of flyers.
Yeah,
and I remember just vividly the album release party, not the live show, not the one we did with the Still Life Static Band. Mm-hmm. We looked around and we were like, "Who the fuck are these people?" We were like, "Yo, who are these people?"
It got to one point, man, where I'm running around and I'm like, man, I just hope this goes well, because we're talking about the first show at Amos's.
The album release party.
We got Amos's. We got John Ellis to actually give us a shot at Amos, which is a well-known spot.
And he didn't do hip hop.
He did not like hip hop. He did not do hip hop. He did not like hip hop. And
2004, 2006. 2004, 2006.
Four. That's
and
five.
This is when
that was when we popped off.
And this is when Amos's was two stories.
That's right. It was 600 max capacity. Yeah. Right. 600 max capacity and beautiful setup. And so many people have performed there. So many people have come through there and performed. And had some of the best conversations with him. And I remember talking with him, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. Right. But I'm gonna.
But you're a salesman,
boy. But I'm gonna wing it, boy. I'm gonna make him. What was the dollar amount? What was the
figure he gave you at the bar?
And everything, whatever he said, I was like, okay, we're gonna do.
Exactly.
He was like, all right. He's like, man, no. He was like, I need 3,000 from the bar.
Right.
I need 3,000 from the bar. He was like, and he was like, the rest y'all can keep.
Yeah. And we had no idea what the fuck bar sales were, or how much do y'all do? Bridwell wasn't like, well, how much do y'all usually do on a show?
No.
Bridwell was just like, yeah, the 3,000? You don't want 4?
Yeah, shit. He was like, 3,000. I was like, okay, cool. I agree to that.
I'll do it.
Because I knew it was a shot at a well-known venue in a big spot in Charlotte.
Big time.
I mean, we had done smaller. Like, I knew you could pack out smaller. This was a big step. This was a big step, and it was a lot. But I knew that there's no way that I could come to this guy and talk to him and be half-assed.
You remember when you went at one point when it looked like it was, half full, whatever it was, and you went to check old boy's clicker. Mm-hmm. Came back and I was like, yo, what's it at? And you were like, it fucking doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And being the stubborn asshole that you are, I'm like, yo, man. How much? What is it? And you were like gave him the deal and just turned and walked off.
Yeah, because I spent a lot of that time up at the door. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to make sure that the people that we were watching the door, that they were getting every single person paid.
Well, you got called to the door. I got called to the door, but you went. Yeah. You said, I forgot who it was.
A couple of times, yeah.
I forgot who it was, but you were like, no. It's $10 fucking or whatever it was. And whoever it was, you were like, hey man, I'm just here to support. It's $10 to get. That's how you support.
Yeah, they were like, well, I know Jimmy. I was like, yeah, I know him too. That's my little brother.
Yeah,
that's why I'm here. Pay the money.
Yeah,
and
the bookie.
And so and it got to be. It was one of those things to where it was slow. It was slow, and people were trickling in.
We got there way too early, dude.
And then I'm like, man, I'm just like praying. I'm like, man, this dude's put in way too much work. This dude's put in way too much work to not have a big crowd to support him. And then all of a sudden,
boom, floodgates.
People started coming out. It was
Didn't
like,
we go outside? We went outside. We walked away from being able to see. I think we might have walked outside to have a drink, have a smoke, whatever. And we walked back in and we were like,
this was probably past the moment I'm talking about, because I'm sitting here looking at it as coming.
Oh, you were
the
still
door.
At the door.
Oh yeah.
So it must have been me and some other people, but we walked back.
No. I came out there with you because your ass couldn't stay away from watching what you couldn't just stay back there. Yeah. You had to be a part of that too, which I get. But I'm sitting here I'm like, man, I just like, this dude deserves it. This dude deserves it. Come on. Where are you guys at? I know you're there. And then people just started showing up. Like, I remember the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The kid manifested it.
Do you remember watching the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? The Foot Clan?
Yes.
And they just start popping up out of the sewer.
Yes.
And start popping up from light posts.
Doing flips, round-offs.
Yes. Yeah. And it was like they just started coming out of nowhere. And I was making sure the girls were okay, backing up the door. And I'm like, yes, now we're talking. And then I remember. Is it true that you didn't let one person in because they were wearing a pair of orange Jordans or something? I don't know about that. Why would I have done that?
They had like tiger pants on with orange Jordans and like a wife beater on.
No, I don't remember that at all.
All right, cool. I just heard it on the streets. Go ahead.
Oh, really?
No, dude. Do you know what the
I mean, I'm not saying I didn't do that.
Do you know what the crazy thing is? When we did the show with Still Life Static with the live band, we weren't cocky, we weren't arrogant, we were like, oh, we've done this before. There nothing changed about us at all, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing that we had doubts about was like, dude, every time that we wanted to rehearse, we could never rehearse because you guys fucking weren't there, or y'all were fighting or drunk or whatever.
Yeah, that was a different situation, and that was after Amos's had gone through the transformation, right?
No, it was still
the two stories.
Still the two stories. It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't the big one.
Okay.
And I remember us getting there, and Dust. I'm gonna say the old boy gets there, he starts drinking beers. We're like, yo, man, you gotta relax. The other guys in the band were spot on.
Mm-hmm.
They start playing the shit, and it was just like, hey, and I even messed up, I think, on the beginning of one, and I had to get them to start over. But it was incredible. Bigaboo Black, the greatest at that point,
hype
probably
man.
The greatest fucking host and hype man
in Charlotte. Yeah.
And the funny thing about him, shout out to Bigaboo Black. Josh was playing in a football league, not a high school league, but like a football league, and he was somehow the host there at this school that we were at. We were at it's Steel Creek area. I forgot what it's
Olympic.
Okay. He's sitting there talking, and he looks up at the top bleacher where I'm at, and I'm like, that's got to be him. But this has been 20 years.
Oh wow.
And he looks up and he was like, yo, man, tell me this ain't bro. Yo. And he points at me, and I'm like, there's no way. Then he's pointing at me. He was like, I want y'all to know y'all got one of the greatest MCs that's ever come out of Charlotte, North Carolina. The I've Seen It All album was amazing. Like that. And I'm just looking at him.
He was a serious hype man. He was a hype
amazing.
man. He was the definition of a hype man.
Amazing. You remember there was a point where we were at a segment in the show. I think we did 8, 9 songs, whatever it was. And I'm looking at Ashley, and I'm like, hey, give me a Red Bull and vodka. I don't drink before, I do shows, but I like to have drinks during it.
Yeah.
She says, okay, I'll do it. Boom. Big on the side of the stage at Amos's was just black, was just out of the lights. He gets on it, and then Dustin's still playing the beats. He's like, yo, and he's got the crowd going nuts. And I go over there, and I'm standing there, and I'm fucking, wiping the sweat off with the towel. And I look, some figure walks up the stairs, and I just start walking towards, about from here to, 3-4 feet. And then boom, this face is right in my face, and I'm like, what the fuck, like that. And all of a sudden, her whole entire body orbited out of the place I was in. And my wife was like, walked up and handed me my drink.
Yeah.
Whoever this chick was thought, I guess, she could walk up on the side stage and give me some smoochy doochie boochie. My wife thought otherwise.
That's not going to happen.
And Ashley pulled her back, gave me my Crown and Coke, and then walks away. And now I'm supposed to fucking finish the show?
Yeah.
I'm like looking like, God, my wife is a fucking superstar. Is that girl dead? Who was that?
The star behind the star.
And then Bigaboo, he's like, come on, JJ. I'm like, I don't even know what we're doing. It was one. I don't know what to do with my hands. It was one of the funniest things, but one of the greatest successes of that show, several others in the album, is that I got to do it, alongside you, and you stuck your neck out. You said, fuck this recording on tape players and on whatever you're doing. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna book this deal. And it was, for me, it was like, like, it's not like you're like walking around with money falling out of your pockets, or like, you just said, I'm gonna do it. And I can't ever repay you for it, and I can't never give you more thanks or love from what you did. It helped me understand, music and recording process and being intentional and being fucking on time, and and it didn't just help for me as a an MC or whatever like that, as a professional, as a man, and I really appreciate and love you for that.
You, brother. Yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, like they say, to not let friends borrow money, right? Don't let friends borrow money, because if something. If a lot of people say it, because at the end of the day, like if that friend doesn't pay you back, then you lose a friend. My thing at the end of the day is like, we only live once, and a lot of things you do in life are going to be a gamble. And I gamble every day with you. Because I know you're worth it.
I don't know what to,
I don't know what to. I know I would never. I would go broke for you, because I know I would never go broke with you.
This is something that it means a lot to me because of the space I was in when I was writing it.
Well, I never question where your heart was. We put it back together, that's what God does. Two poor podcasts, that's all us. We got enough bourbon to get us all drunk.
Now, the best line in there is...
That's nice. I like that.
Is we put it back together, that's what God does, right? And just so you know, all that fucking... drilling that you did, growing up, especially when Ashley and I had our first house. And, I don't care if you like it or you want to hear it. This is what I feel. This is how I feel about believing in a higher power, believing in that kind of stuff. We
used to have a lot of combos.
A lot of it. Just
at the end of nights, yeah.
But that line where it said, I never questioned what your heart was. We put it back together. That's what God does. We ended up having your son and my daughters play in a friendly match right down the road.
Yeah.
And
soccer match.
Yeah. And it was like, cool, you know. And the kids, of course, Christian tormented my kids. My daughter, Isabella, I think, threatened his life, whenever it was. And I'll never forget it that you told me what happened to you and the accident that you had at that in Georgia.
Yeah, in 2020.
And we drove back home, and I look at my wife, and I'm like, I can't fucking believe that I didn't know that, or I wasn't there, I wasn't, right? And for days, I'd be on the way to work, not listening to music, just thinking about it, like, how the fuck did he tell me that, and I didn't know about it? It's a problem. And we put it back together. That's what God does. You called me one time when I was at work, not long after that, and said, "Y'all, I was at church and I heard this deal that meant a lot to me, and it just said reach out to someone that you love and tell them you love them, and tell them regardless how long it's been since you've seen them, since whatever happened, but if you really truly love them, call them and just tell them that." And you told me all that. And you said, I heard this, and they said, and then you said, "I love you, bro. I love you," right? And it was such a good moment because of me feeling like I let you down in such a, disastrous way. You know what I mean? Like I should have known all these things, right? And then following up from that and still staying in contact and communication, and then, what ended up being the Too Poor podcast did not start from you and I being like, "Hey man, I got this idea, dude. I think we're gonna fucking make it."
Yeah.
It started from you being like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck to do, and I need your help." And that is not something that you've ever done. To be fair.
Yeah.
And but you needed my help.
Yeah.
I had a date to plan. Ashley and I were literally about to walk out the door, and I said, "Babe, I love you. Here's what Jason just texted me." And she looked at me and she was like, "Baby, go."
Yeah.
And it's insane the miles, the time, the missed moments, the experiences, all these things that we missed over all these years. Being able to get back to my brother and get back to a relationship, get to the point of where you fucking you're not calling anybody else. And I've done that to you in the last couple of years and your whole life. Like, hey man, I'm literally driving right now. I got to come to your house. Okay. Leave the door up.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is so special about the Too Poor podcast. There's not a shelf life on this. We're not trying to compete with anybody. This is just you and I doing what we've always done. Yeah. And that's just being absolute real and meaning what we say, saying what we mean.
Yeah, I knew when I reached out to you and said what I said, which is basically like, "Yo, bro, I need to talk to you, like for real. I need some help." And I knew by saying that, I knew your response was going to be to call me because of a conversation that we had probably a decade. No. I'm talking like a decade before, if not more than that. And we were in my car, and we were out front of my house, my old house, like where we grew up in our neighborhood in Chestnut Lake. And you were sitting in the passenger seat. One of the things that I've always appreciated about you and always loved about you is no matter where you were, you're going to be you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're at work. It doesn't matter if you're in the street. It doesn't matter if we're at a restaurant. You are going to be your authentic self. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about you. From the very first moment that we met, we were wrestling in the front yard of Josh Scherer's house.
God rest.
Going freaking at it.
I don't think I won.
You didn't.
Any of the matches.
You didn't. I mean, you could probably win now, baby, but you know,
it was supposed to be an 11-year-old against 11-year-old, and you were like 18.
Well, I had 2 years on you, bro.
Did you pull a gun on me?
I might have.
No,
you know?
But I kept going back trying to win.
Dude, but you were a feisty motherfucker. You were a feisty motherfucker, and you earned respect super early. And but at the same time, that very first moment that we met, we went at it, but then there was a respect factor. And there was just something there. And like I believed at the time that I was always kind of like in a different place than I was. I wasn't normal, I thought. So like when I saw you, I was like, man, this dude, he's not normal either. He's special.
He's fucked up too.
He's as fucked up as I am.
Yeah.
But there was a moment where we were in the car, and you were in the passenger seat, I was driving, and we were out front of my house. And you've never shied away from showing emotion. You've never showed away. You never, shied away from being authentic, whatever that is. And it doesn't fucking matter what anybody else has to say about it.
Right.
You're gonna be you. And it's always something I've respected about you.
Well, I mean, likewise, dude. Likewise.
But you told me, you were like, motherfucker. And you're yelling at me. And you're like, motherfucker, why don't you ever let anybody in?
Stubborn motherfucker. Yeah.
Why don't you ever let anybody care about you? So
you needed to hear that shit.
I needed to hear that. So when I knew that text
would be received. Oh yeah.
And it would hit you on a different level.
Don't fucking look at me, motherfucker. Yeah.
So yeah.
You know, it ain't nobody's business. And that's what I've always loved about us, but it ain't nobody's business. But you came up so much harder than so many of these fucking, loudmouth, nobodies trying to, use that as some sort of fuel to make people think that they are something they're not. You never, ever, ever brought this shit up. Ever. You never brought it up.
Nah.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, like your shit was fucked up. How's he gonna make it out of this? I'm gonna get him out. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna be there for him. I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna make sure, even though he'll be on some bullshit and be like, nah, I don't want nobody coming over. Nah, man, I'm already on the way. It's before cell phones. I'm like, I'm halfway there right now.
Yeah.
And I think the one of the best things that you can have is in your whole life, and if you're lucky enough to have it your whole life, is somebody that is not a yes man. And somebody that's not afraid to hurt your fucking feelings.
Yeah.
Or somebody's not afraid to tell you, like, yo, man, that is just all the way whack. Like, what you're doing right now, I hate it. I don't like it. Don't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this just tough guy mentality that we grew up in because we had to be a certain way. We had to be a certain way growing up where we grew up. There's no other way to say it. You had to handle your own. You couldn't walk around, and or you would be taken advantage of. And I learned that early, and I learned that from the shit I was talking about earlier, where that punk ass bitch was talking shit, and you were like, "Yo, man, who the fuck are you talking to?" Right? And we came from this place, and you don't usually get to say this and get to say, like, "Yeah, man, I'm glad that I fucking cussed you out and told you what I thought about you and that how stubborn you were and that all this stuff," because if you've never let anybody in, or if you haven't been able to let anybody in because of circumstances that are your own, then you don't know what it feels like to get the other side of letting somebody in that can help you with the demons or help you with the negative thoughts. I'm telling you, man, how many nights do we sit on your back porch, just you and I, chilling, talking bullshit and smoking blunts and whatever, and then think about how many times it was just you sitting back there. I was sitting there thinking about myself, how many times I've sat at my mom's house in the screened-in porch, the famous screened-in porch, by myself.
Boy,
just
been there many a nights.
Just absolutely letting my mind just go.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up that, and I'm glad you remember that so vividly, because I do too. And it was important for me to let you know, like, yo, man, that bullshit that you know, you do that with these other motherfuckers, like you do with these other cats, you know what I'm saying?
Well, then that was a separation. That was a separation. And there's very few times in life, I think, that you get that separation. Right. Like there's a whole lot of noise. There's a whole lot of extras. And then there's a few main characters. And those main characters make themselves apparent in the movie in different points in time. And from the jump, you've been a main character in my life. You know.
Likewise.
And you've always been fam.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I feel good.
I love this shit.
I love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
See you guys. Fuck you, man.
Yeah.